A very warm welcome to you, mawethu sinamkela kwendawo ngendawo enibukeleni kuzo akule nkqubo yethu namhlanje sisasaza ngqo apha kwi-SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Namhlanje ke siphethe omnye umba ochaphazela na njengabathengi. I'm your host Siphiwe Speech Nzawumbi. Njengesiqhelo ke sakunika nawe ithuba lokuvakalisa imbono zakho ngositsala unxeba phaya ku-011 7146918 or 6919. Drop your emails to consumer@sabc.co.za. Asikhona ke lapha ku-Facebook napha ku-Twitter. South Africa, this is Yilungelo Lakho. Obesity has become a global problem. At least 1 billion people across the world are deemed overweight, and South Africans are amongst those topping the list. In an effort to stay slim and trim, desperate Weight Watchers end up opting for quick solutions. Many of these so-called fat burners, both brought on the street and over the counter, have been found to be a health risk, leading to chronic illnesses and even fatalities. Have a look at this insert.
Inkinga esihlasela abantu abaningi lapha eMzansi Afrika futhi ayicwasi nabala ngisho nezingane imbala. Izinga lobukhulu bomzimba phecelezi iobesity selinikwe ngesinye isivinini emhlabeni wonke jikelele. Ingakho ke umnyango wezempilo usukhethe ukwenyusa izinga lokuxwayisa umphakathi ngobungozi balesi sifo. Okubuhlungu ke ukuthi laba abafuna ukwehlisa imizimba yabo bagcina besebenzise imikhiqizo eyingozi kakhulu. Umeleni omunye wabantu besifazane lapha eMzansi Afrika oke waba nenkinga yomzimba omkhulu eminyakeni endlulile. Njengabantu abaningi wazama wonke amakhambi ayewatshelwa abangani bakhe awabona kumabona kude kanye nekwezinye izindawo kodwa alikho ngisho elilodwa elamsebenzela.
I've always been overweight, throughout my childhood. And I've tried slimming tablets, mainly I would say, that stuff that's been advertised, but and nothing works. I mean, for a little while it might, but it really doesn't work.
Kanti konke lokho ewayekuzama kwakumudla eningi imali le.
And they cost such a lot of money and they really don't work, but I'm sure they do affect your body in the long run as well. And just, I don't know, just better to eat a balanced diet, and it does work. It stays off longer or forever.
Nangoba ezinye izizwe zisakuthathisa kwento enhle ukuba nomzimba omkhulu futhi bebona kuhambelana nokuba isicebi, ukuphila kahle nokuba umuntu ujabulile, kanti izikhathi zamanje seziyayijika lento. Namuhla ukuba nomzimba omncane sekuyiphupho labantu abaningi. Kodwa abantu abaningi abalandeli indlela eyona yokwehlisa umzimba yabo. Kanti ocwepheshe abanjengo Antoinette Duplessis bathi iyodwa nje vo indlela yokuqaphela impilo yakho. Ukudla okunempilo kanye nokuzivocavoca.
There is nothing like a magic bullet. You can't expect something like that to help you control your weight and lose weight and keep it off, because then you'll always have to go back to buying tablets. It's much safer and much better for yourself and psychologically to lose the weight slowly by making a few changes at a time, because the more you yo-yo diet and the more you depend on external factors to lose weight and you don't succeed, because they often have these wonderful claims on the products, and every time you don't reach those goals that they've set or those wonderful promises, you feel like you've failed. So it makes it even harder psychologically the next time that you try to lose weight to then lose it.
Le mikhiqizo eminingi yokwehlisa umzimba itholakala ezitolo noma emakhemisi. Kanti ke kuba amaphilisi noma imithi ephuzwayo. Kanti eminingi yayo isitholakala ukuba nengozi enkulu engabeka impilo yakho engcupheni. Kanye nale mithi yabantu abajimayo abafuna ukuba izikhondla nayo ingaba nengozi enkulu. Eminye yale mikhiqizo itholakala ukuthi ingadala iBP, ukuphathwa yikhanda, ukuba nesiyezi, ukushaya kwenhliziyo ngamandla, kanye noma ke uhlaselwe yiyo inhliziyo. Njengomeleni abanye abathengi sebeke wazama lamakhambi.
Sebenzisa ama slimming tablets and then it worked, mara I stopped.
No, I don't believe in slimming tablets because sometimes they default your body and maybe sometimes your weight, it's the way you are. But then when you use the slimming tablets, sometimes as time goes on, you get sick.
No, not really. I believe in gymming and eating healthy. But they do work though, you get ones that do work. I just personally wouldn't take one.
uMeleni uthi abantu abaningi abanaka ubukhulu kwemizimba yabo bangazuza kakhulu kulokhu akwenza. Wazama usizo le-dietitian lesi-ke isinqumo angazange azisole ngaso.
When I starting to lose weight, I went to a dietitian. I was 97 kgs, and it's just she's helped me over 2 years to lose 30 kgs, and it's just by eating correctly and the quantity of your food, and just being, and it's also, I think you need to be at the place where you want to lose the weight.
Bayaxwayiswa abathengi ukuthi bayilwe lempi bengaze belahlekelwe izimpilo zabo. Bayaxwayiswa futhi abathengi ukuthi begade ubungozi obukhona ekubhemeni ukuphuza kakhulu, ukudla okunamafutha kanye nosawoti noshukela omningi. Bayakhuthazwa labo-ke abafuna ukwehlisa imizimba yabo ukuthi bethole usizo lochwepheshe, bangathathi nje noma yiphi imikhiqizo abangayazi nokuthi yenziwe kuphi. Unompumelelo Mthethwa, Yilungelo Lakho, eGoli.
Masibabe ngaso sibini ke ngelonqaku esilenzelwe nguNompumelelo Mthethwa. Phambi basingene emphakathi emxholweni wethu masamkela ke intendo zethu ezikhona phe studio. Sinaye ke ugqirha wezempilo uSibu Malinga, hayi umdanisi. Yena uphuma pha kwa Netcare. Samkele nobayanda April ozokusincokolela yena ngeziphumo ezikanqumisiyo awabanaso emveni uba esebenzisela amachiza okuluza iweight. Sinaye ke noColbert Mayinela, yena oyingcaphephe ecebisa abantu ngendlela elungileyo yokutya nendidi ngendidi zokutya eziyayigazini. And later on we'll be joined by Debo who is a psychologist. Gentlemen and the lady, welcome. Welcome on the show. So we're going to start with you, Bayanda. Kakusixele nje sisinabisele ngalomba wakho kuba uthi uyosebenzisa la machiza kwakuthini?
Ndiye ndaba pregnant 2012. Then after ndiye ndabeleka they gave banika the injection but don't get pregnant and all that stuff easily because bathi ba fertile kwagqiba ubeleka. So after the injection it actually affect her ndatyeba kakhulu, and I was so in denial uba ndiyatyeba, but impahla zami zonke bezibancinci. So finally ndathi no man, this is really getting into me. I'm lazy and I sweat all the time. So ndazama like izinto different ezingakhange zisebenze. So xa ndisebenzisa ziyasebenza. Then when I stop I actually gain more weight.
When you talk about gaining weight, from your original size,
I was a size 30.
Okay, to
44.
Okay.
So when I figure size 44, and that no, this is not on. I need to do something. Then that join the gym is taking a long time. I need something that is going to work now because I can't take this weight anymore. So I came across Duromines after that, and actually.
So the medication you used, was it given a prescription before you go?
Yes,
okay.
So ndayisebenzisa, and after 2 weeks bendiba hyper, hardly sleep, and bendingatyi at all. Bendingatyi ukutya bendikulibala completely. So ndaqala uba dizzy. Then after some time it really got serious, like about dizzy, and I felt like fainting the first time and I told my colleague that you know what, I think I'm not okay. What I told you, go to the gym.
We lose a weight
bendiluza, but xa uyeka gain a foot, which is you don't go back to 44, you gain more than what you lost. So the the pills, and then after that I finally fainted for the first time, and I didn't take it seriously. The fainter was being it, then I went to my doctor, and then can't figure which pill is like pill is also what can I get? No, I want that first pill is then what you know you should stop using them. You are not my first patient as a upper as on the same so
why talk yes,
because the high blood yambi nyuke kakhulu.
Okay.
And inhliziyo yami ibetha ngamandla, bebetha kakhulu. So wathi izan-affecta ndizawuenda apha ndibane heart attack. So bendifainta bendingatyi at all. So in-affecte kakhulu.
Inga-affecte kakhulu.
Yeah.
Ugqirha lo wayekunike initially ukhe waya kuye emveni uba ufumaniseke uba unezi side effects ukhe mcacisela ukuba lo gqirha wesibini oye kuye uthe kukusebenzisa la machiza?
Khange ndiye.
Okay.
Khange ndiye because the whole point was ba business yambe. You understand? Une-chemist, she's a doctor.
She's a doctor.
So the
Okay.
focus is on making money.
Okay, so the first one was a pharmacist.
Yeah, exactly.
The second one was a
So,
GP.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they to my doctor, what? No, you should stop using them at all.
Masikasithethe ke
That's what I
ngoku
found.
emveni buyeke ezi pilisi waqala watya ukutya okulungileyo wasebenzisa the alternatives to lose the weight.
Professionally,
How's been the journey?
Professionally, I'm a dancer.
Okay.
So when the gain weight, it was so frustrating because I was struggling in my dance classes. So I went back to Vianney Dance Theatre in Newtown, Upper Bank Dancer Corner. Then I started dancing with them and I lost so much weight from 44 to 36 now.
Okay, masiphinde sithethe ke ngokubana njengoba uye waya pha e-dance, did you change your eating habits?
Yes, I did.
Or?
Yes, I did.
All right, did
Even
you change your diet altogether, or you just went from big portions to small portions?
I actually changed.
You changed your
Yeah,
diet?
from like veggies, white meat, fish.
From fried chicken to... We
Yeah,
all know
grilled.
it tastes good. We all know it tastes good. Okay, so now you are into good eating.
Yes.
All right, and is it consistent? Uyakwazi ukuqhubeka nohlobo lokutya
Yes,
olutsha?
we change mindset yakho uzixelele uba this is what I want to do and you go for it. Don't look back, just focus on your goal, then for sure you will get there.
So ngilo myalezo ongaba nawo nakwabanye amagqiyazana mhlawumbi akhona napha notata ngokunjalo mhlawumbi abasufferisha from the same conditions. Jogging.
In 3 months time you'll see the results.
Even though it takes time for some people.
If you jog morning and afternoon, usela amanzi kakhulu, a glass of water before you eat in the morning, it helps isisu, uhlisa isisu.
All right.
In 45 minutes time, then you can eat your breakfast. But water is very important. First thing when you wake up in the morning.
All right, thank you so much, Bayanda. Let's talk to you, Sbu. I know that you are a GP, but you're a surgeon, rather.
Yes, I'm a surgeon.
So you focus on the health aspect. Yokusebenzisa yokulose weight nokusebenzisa lamachiza. We're going to. I just want to know by comments zakho ba intoni ecingayo wena ngesi story sika Bayanda.
Ngiyabona. Uyanda njengoba yasho inkinga zakhe zihambelana nokuthi kakhulu uqale wabona just i-pharmacist and bamnikeza imithi enama effects amaningi kwanye nama side effects amaningi amelana nokuthi amncede ukuthi alose weight. Naqala nje kubonakala ngathi iphilisi liphilile litamphatha kahle kepha ke njengoba achubeka kunasa amaphilisi bese uyaqala bona inkinga eliningi lithambelana nalamaphilisi lokuyendeke kakhulu uma just uthatha over the counter. So info lesitfola kule mcoko kulo nkulumo yakhe yakhombisa already ukuthi uma uthatha amaphilisi over the counter lokuningi lokuhambelana intingo leti ngahambi kahle ngalamaphilisi ngendlela ungakubonanga.
Okay. We know that you are a dietitian. Can you just tell us what you think of what you've picked from this story? Ba indoni mhlambe esingathi sithi sifunde singababukeli?
From my point of view and perspective, like first thing that they were supposed to do, they were supposed to refer the lady to a dietitian so that he can be weighed and be assessed or by kinetics. Because like we're looking at the BMI, we're looking at the less than 18 kg per meter squared, which
She
is
went from 44, right?
no, that's the size.
I was
The
108.
clothes size.
Okay, so your overall size was 108 too.
Yeah.
So now I'm
That's your waist.
89 now.
89, wow.
Yes.
So she
Waist.
did that by just eating correctly.
By eating correctly. Yeah, so we're looking at like how much kg was she supposed to take, the ideal body weight. Then they were supposed to calculate at least the body, the BMI, and look if maybe she's 25 to 30, that's overweight. Then she's supposed to lose. But if she was about 20 to 25, that's her ideal weight. Then there's no need for you to lose weight.
Okay, so does your weight go according to your age also? So when I'm 18, I should be a certain age, or when I'm 40, I'm supposed to be a certain age?
No.
So there's no
it
such
doesn't.
thing. Okay.
It doesn't. What I know is your weight need to go according to your height.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll continue with our discussion after the break. Thank you very much to Bayanda who joined us to tell us about the story. After the break, we'll be joined by a psychologist. Let's go for an ad break. Welcome back to Yilungelo, Lakho, it's your right. And today we're focusing on the potential health risk posed by some of the weight management drugs flooding our market. 011-714-6918 or 6919. We're now joined by a psychologist in our panel, Lakho. Thank you very much for joining us and welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Gentlemen, you all had the story of a lady who had earlier on, Ayanda. And Sbu, you spoke earlier on about how she could have opted for perhaps a better diet or going for a doctor's prescription as opposed to over-the-counter. Just tell us more about that, what you meant.
So, nasiqala nje ngalamaphilisi lawa alambelana naye nokulusa i-weight. Nayabuka yabona ngazuthi simple tablets angawathatha over the counter. Kanti kunama-side effects lamaningi lahambelana namaphilisi. So, particularly lamaphilisi labewanatha yena. There were side effects which were quite risky for an over-the-counter prescription to be done and given. Specifically, amongst some side effects, are pills like a problem in pregnancy, which in this case, pills in pregnancy is actually not allowed that she can have those tablets. But
well, she was pregnant before and then she had a baby.
Luckily, in this case,
yes.
But it's possible even if you are pregnant, you can just receive this tablet over the counter. Then there are other health hazards, high blood pressure, heart attacks, and those associated with insomnia and anxiety in general. And then another problem is for the anxiety problem, they will then consult and see someone to help them manage the anxiety, for which some with anxiety treatment, anxiolytics, and should not be given.
Okay.
So those are the problems which have to be made aware of.
Thank you so much. Well, let's come to you, Colbert. Let's just talk about the diet and you being a dietitian, how important it is for us as people or as an individual who's trying to lose weight to go for a route where you eat healthy and to change your lifestyle.
Yeah, the diet is so important in such a way, but before I dwell on that, I need to clarify between the diet pill and the nutritional supplements.
Yes, tell us the difference.
The difference is the nutritional supplement is good and the diet pill is bad. And the nutritional supplement is the one that maybe we give it to a patient, maybe who doesn't eat properly and who doesn't have adequate nutrients while sleeping. Or maybe a patient in a coma or something like that.
In a hospital.
At the hospital. Then we able to boost that patient so that he can gain power and accommodate some of the medication. And that's okay. It's allowed. But the diet pill is because of the FDA. I mean, the FDA, most of, the diet pill, they don't require FDA to be approved. They just come in the market and be sold.
Okay, so the FDA is, you have to get a prescription, basically. What is an FDA? We need to clarify between these two. When you talk about the supplement, what it is, and then what is FDA?
Okay, the supplement is just a nutritional supplement, and the FDA is Food Drug Administration.
Okay, so the supplement, you can use it to either gain weight or lose weight. Is that?
No, the nutritional supplement is just there to boost you.
Your system.
When you don't get adequate nutrition. But after you recovered from your illness, then we can stop supplement and give you actual food. Yeah. So now the FDA, these drugs, they don't require FDA to come into the market. They just come in just like that. But the FDA will only recognize no, this drug is bad after an adverse reaction. Maybe somebody complained about it, then it will be banned. But afterwards, they will come back into a popular diet pill, like an ingredient.
Is there a time frame in using these supplements you're talking about?
No, the supplements, the nutritional supplements, you can use it as much as you can, as long as you don't get adequate nutrition. It's legal, but the diet pill, Dr. Malinga will dwell too much on it. it's not allowed at all. The diet pill, which is the weight loss medication.
Okay. Masize kuwe Tebogo, kakusinabisele wena as a psychologist ba intoni ifumanisayo that is most common, a common trend on people who are trying to lose weight psychologically, from a psychological point of view.
Well, I think due to all the information we get on media, you find that people, their first point of getting information is on media.
It's on media.
So you get people, I mean, there's an ideal body that is advertised on TV. That
the slim six-pack abs.
Exactly. So everybody wants to go for that. And instead of getting or reaching that goal, instead of going to the professional, they go to their friends, they ask for information. They go on the internet, and these things are not monitored. So people end up getting pills that they get on the internet instead of getting a professional, a dietitian or a doctor to prescribe it. So that's one of the challenges that we get in terms of the pills. But the other thing is about family, where you get a lot of family members. You always have a member in the family who knows, you know, who can prescribe you the right medication. Or somebody who has used it before. You know, somebody who has used it before, who know what can work, you know, and then they prescribe them. They tell them, get this, and some pharmacies today.
Right. Gentlemen, I want us to clearly distinguish between being overweight and being obese, because it's a huge, I believe there's a difference between the two, but then see, we're living in a society where by just picking 2 pounds up, or you know, and then you're called isdudla, and then you feel that you're obese. Maskasithetha ba intoni kanye uba obese, that is ukutyeba ngokugqithisileyo nokutyeba nje, and is it okay to be overweight, or all have to be skinny?
No, it's not okay to be overweight. It's more dangerous. Like for example, like what is overweight and what is underweight?
What is being overweight?
Yeah, being overweight, as I said, like we can calculate your BMI, your body mass index. Ngezulu, or let me just say it
ngesintu, yeah.
It's when umzimba wakho ukhulile in such a way that height yakho ayikhoni kuyimisa or something like that. Maybe that's more overweight. That's greater than 40 kg per meter squared.
And so then besides the BMI, ikhona indlela ukujonga ba senti overweight kuba nisenokuba mde ndibe nomzimba omkhulu, because you just spoke about that, about your height or your body weight not being manageable in your body. How do you calculate that?
Beside the BMI, just to look at the person just like that. It's when ubona umuntu mahamba
angaziva adinwe,
angadinwi and all this, angadinwi azwa active.
Kodwa bakhona abantu abakhulu, mkhulu umuntu kodwa saziva active, akadinwa and all that, but mkhulu ngokwesiqu and uzalwe njalo. Uthini kubantu abanjalo? What is that condition?
No, overweight actually. Like thina practicing, we simfaka inside the machine and say check out the level of fatness, how much fat she got, and is she dehydrated or not, and then check again lean body mass. Then from there singa calculate.
Let's just hold it right there. It's quite interesting that we have gentlemen who are talking about this issue in studio, but we've got a caller calling us from Pretoria. Dinewo, are you on the line?
Yes, baba.
Hi, Dinewo, kunjani siswami?
Ikhona baba nje.
Siyabulala nathi akhonto.
Mina inkinga yami vele ngikhulu overweight. So mangiya eclinic bangiphatha izinyawo bathi overweight ngiphungule iweight. So uma ngidla amaphilisi abangipha wona for izinyawo ayangikhuluphalisa, and then ngidla nawa high blood futhi. Ngithi ngawayekela lawa high blood for 8 months. Ngayiluza iweight. So ngaba ngathi ngishawa stroke la esangisa ka right. Ngabuyela eclinic, mangibuyela eclinic mangitshela ukuthi wayengena amaphilisi we high blood, ngabatshela ukuthi ayangikhuluphalisa. So manje ngiyakhuluphala vele kuba mkhulu, angikhoni ukuhamba kahle izinyawo lezi.
Sisi vele kudala wazala ukhuluphele, or did you pick up weight at some point in your life?
Okay, ngibe mkhulu after umntwana wesibili.
Oh, after falling pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay. Ubabkhulu kwakho, were you almost double the size, and how did that affect your health? Uzwani la emzimbeni wakho?
Ngiyakhathala, ngingakwazi ukuhamba kahle. Yeah, nekhanda liyangihlupha futhi.
Manekhanda. Okay. Are you still taking the pills, the high blood pills, or the pills you're given at the clinic?
Yeah. Since after the stroke besingiphathe esandleni ngihamba kahle manje ngamaphilisi high blood.
Okay, so udla amaphilisi high blood manje. Did you stop taking the other medication?
Sorry?
Uyeke ukuthatha enye medication le uyidla?
angiyekanga.
Okay. Dinewo, can you watch your TV? We're going to answer your question just shortly. Siyabonga ngobusfonela. Gentlemen, did you hear that case? She basically went to a clinic and she's always been overweight, but then it comes after this basically came after she fell pregnant and she had a second baby. Let's just talk briefly about that because I think that's more or less, although it's also you're going to touch on that swoop, but I think also you can touch on that to you get this medication, we are a clinic, and then what takes place then when this medication has been given by health professionals is giving you these problems?
Yeah. You like most medications we told from other health professionals they don't tell you the side effect of those medications.
Okay.
So it's best if maybe your doctor tells you no, take this medication. The side effects are for sure the side effects are there. It's very rare cases whereby you get medication whereby side effects are not there, but mostly side effects are there.
Okay.
Then you'll make an informed choices no, if I take this medication maybe is for weight loss or something like that, then it's me who's taking it due to this risk and I know this is what's going to happen.
All right, let's hold it right there, Colbert. Let's quickly go for a quick commercial break. After the break, we'll be taking more of your calls, 01171469918 or 6919. Namhlanje ke siphethe umba wokutyeba ngogqithisileyo nendlela wena othi uhambe uye kuzo in an attempt to lose that weight and how they could harm your health. Let's quickly go for an ad break. We'll be right back after this. We'll continue with our discussion in the studio and that is obesity and alternative measures you can use in order to curb the issue. We've got this gentleman who's joining us in studio. Before the break, we're touching on a case study. Based on the case study in the caller we just had, somebody went to a health practitioner who gave her a medication and how it sort of affected her health. But before that, let's quickly take some of the messages on Facebook. We've got Malbongo Benamanyonya. Malbongo says, abantu abaninzi bathengisa i-products ezingakhuselekanga abakholelwa ukuba ziyakhwalisa ukuwehlisa i-weight. Londo ibafaka engozini ezimpilweni zabo. Mna ndifuna ukwazi ba umuntu xa ezelwe emkhulu ngokomzimba ingaba kufanelekile ukuba azame indlela zokwehlisa lo weight. And then we've got John Sibotuma who says, hi guys, interesting topic. All that is needed is safe, cheapest places with training instructors where we can exercise, unlike running at your own on the streets and the main roads where we can end up being knocked by speeding cars and robbery by thugs. And then I've got Tembile or Nono who says the only way to lose weight is by exercise. Don't be fooled by those bogus doctors who claim to be experts. Their aim is to make money. So, that's quite interesting. I think it quite echoes what you just said earlier on in Tobana. Masiyeken uktata esbilisi. But get uchilo bazkona is in this kumpayo nina nizi practitioners zako health.
Yes.
I want you to continue on that basically. And also the first message on Facebook says, what if you were born, or it's a family thing, so what do you do then in that case?
Yes, overweight is genetically programmed, but we need to get rid of that. At the early stage.
How do you get rid of that? Like when you grow, because we come in a society where being a chubby child is being a cute child.
Yes, you're joining the family now, and now you're kulupana now. When as maybe like urban informed choices, then you need to go for most checkups and assessment. Then you can end that stage of overweight in your family.
Assessment, but again, masithathe sise phaya ekhaya ndingumntu ndiphangela an average job and ukutya ndikutyayo akusokutya that is mostly regulated, or I don't go according to a diet. Ndiku-assessa kanjani ukuba umntanam angakhuli or mna ndingumntu omdala ukuba ndingagain weight?
Angithi,
is it food rather? Let me put it this way. Is it food that makes people gain weight?
Yes, it is food.
What kind of food? As a dietitian, can you tell us that?
No, it's fatty food, too much of carbohydrates, sweet containing products, and diluted juices, most of those things, and sometimes nowadays medications, abantu basithola. Once we thola, as usesiya khulumile ukuthi I went back to my fat weight. Like, so once we uthatha such pills, then you go back to the fifth times.
Okay,
the
so let's
actual
come
weight.
to you. Being a doctor, you have seen people coming into your surgery basically as a surgeon also. Abantu bazama lose weight for liposuction and for all this kind of measures. But that's for the upper class, we know.
Yes.
But then I want us to talk about a case where we saw the lady who came into our studio. She says, I was given, and the caller who called us earlier, I was given this medication by a doctor, but then it still gave me side effects, and some of them led to me almost having a stroke. What happens? Why should a medication that is supposed to help me as a consumer or as a person who goes to a health practitioner still give me such side effects, which could even lead to fatalities?
Yes. Like all tablets that we give, in fact, have side effects. So it is just about how it is tolerable to the individual and what is safe and healthy for the person who's receiving the tablet. So when it comes to the specifically case of weight loss medication, the main things to watch out for when there are problems is that you must go back to your doctor who referred you or prescribed you the medication.
Even though I'm seeing progress?
Even when you are seeing progress, but when you start having a problem with lack of sleep, problems with palpitations, feeling dizzy and fainting, then it's the time to really go back to your doctor and say, I'm getting what I want, but I have this other set of problems. And if that's the case, then we have a lot of other options of medications we can give you anyway.
Okay. Tebogo, I'm going to come to you, and you're still going to give me the psychological pattern or the notion that's out there. You're not sexy. But the minute you start shedding those pounds and then having the six-pack, then you are seen as acceptable in society. But quickly, let's take a caller who's calling us from Durban. We've got a caller from Durban. Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, Sisi Kunjani?
Ngiyaphila, ukhuluma noZama.
Hi, Zama. Sisi wami.
Yebo. Ngithi diabetes ngidla i-treatment diabetes. Manje ngimkhulu ngale ndlela exakile manje ngishaya 100 and I'm pregnant.
Okay, Zama, your line is a bit, it's breaking a bit. So you are pregnant, you are diabetic, and you are overweight.
Yes.
Before, after you were pregnant? I mean, before pregnancy or during pregnancy?
Before pregnant, in 2001, ngiyajeba nje strong angehli, mina mangithi ngiyazama ukudayetha angehli.
Okay, wazama uconsult ugqirha? Awukayi kodokotela?
Bayangitshela ukuthi ngidle ngiyadla ngale ndlela basho ngayo, but manje ngilamba kakhulu.
Because you're also diabetic. Okay, Zama, khawubukela iTV yakho sisazama basiphendula umbuzo wakho.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Well, here's Zama who's calling us from Durban. Basically, she's overweight, and then she's diabetic also, and then she was pregnant. She was overweight way before pregnancy, and she's currently pregnant right now. So I think she's worried that after the pregnancy, I'm going to pick up more weight. What's the situation right there? Let's come to you, Tebogo, because I believe that you're coming on the psychological pattern. In that instance, we're seeing and we're hearing all these cases. What is the common trend that you're picking up as a psychologist?
Well, I think I'll just make a reference to the caller now because you speak about being pregnant. And if you can check around, usually when women are pregnant, one of the anxiety comes, I'm going to gain weight. It's a common anxiety that occurs among all women.
All women. And even men. I think we need to emphasize this, that it's the 21st century. And if you're watching right there at home, don't feel that this is a women's program and you're talking about women issues. Men also are also part of it. Men also gain weight and they get the anxiety that you're talking about.
I need to emphasize on the social and the cultural aspect that comes into play here.
Yes.
Because culturally you find there are certain cultures that will support men gaining weight. That for men to be or to look good, you must, pack up. And even when you are a man, when you visit your in-laws, when but then when it comes to women, I think when you look socially, you realize that I think women are more targeted when it comes to weight loss.
Okay.
The women advertisement about women most of the time.
Sbu, Nangozamo sfanele seDurban uthi she's overweight and all these issues. She's diabetic, she's overweight, and then she's pregnant currently. Ingaba uncedo ngalifumana kanjani? What can she do?
Yeah, she's quite a handful with problems because she is also pregnant and we are lamba when she doesn't eat. And manje ngoba pregnant, kahle into siyesifuna ukubayenza for the pregnancy's sake and just because umzimba uyashintsha lesikhathi pregnant, ema demands umzimba uyashintsha, how much she needs to eat and how much she can tolerate change altogether. So we're interested for the pregnant individual who's also diabetic. It really requires her doctors there to focus on her more. So in her case, she must go back to a doctor.
But with the medication kashukela. So
and that's what makes it more tricky. Ngoba sugar level like izohambe fluctuate, which may require her to be actually admitted earlier, because nayo le pregnancy kanye nale diabetes zinenkinga has caused a lot of problems.
So into that into one njengoba the medication uzawuba ne desire yokutya more and more and more. Okay. Well, we're discussing the topic of obesity, and as you can see that our Facebook page is buzzing with messages, and callers are calling in to give us their opinion and basically their issue. Call us also after the break. We'll continue with our discussion on obesity. Welcome back. We continue with our conversation on the negative health effects of some of the weight loss drugs that you buy in the streets and some over the counter. We're joined by these three gentlemen. Before the break, Sbu, you were still telling us about the medication. We had a caller. I want us to go back to that caller from Durban, Uzama. Uzama is pregnant. She's got diabetes, and then she's trying to lose weight. Well, she's anxious, basically. What you said she must go to a doctor, but I believe that there's more that she can do. Won't these medications clash at some point?
Yes, they will clash. But in her case, this is best managed by her obstetrician, who's the doctor who's managing her pregnancy, working specifically ngalenkinga ya diabetes. It's a tricky number of problems. Nakaqala kunciphisa kudla uya affect nayo le pregnancy yakhe. So lokho khambelana ukuthi they must observe what the blood sugars are like more intensively as the doctors. Often the diabetic pregnant female gets admitted if there are problems which go with fluctuation of blood sugar levels, which can impact on her and her pregnancy.
So basically, into eshoyo ngokuba makakhe ame gogo pregnant until after the pregnancy, then she can start looking at the
consult with
the doctor first. Okay, let's come to you. We live in a society where being big is just wrong. We'll look at magazines, the models, and everybody who's out there is basically skinny. Skinny is the new way in.
True.
Excuse me. And when you're coming from a family that is totally of a different picture, and what is the morale that's bound to crop out there?
Yeah, it can be very frustrating, particularly when you are in a family where, like you said, I think at the beginning you spoke about if you are chubby, you might look cute. But it becomes a problem when you grow up and you start to be a fete boom boom.
And you're called fete boom boom.
You are no longer that cute child.
Yeah.
You are tsekeleke. You've got all
because there's a point where you stop being the cute boy, and then you are tsekeleke.
You have all those funny names, and it becomes very frustrating. Now you start to look for measures now to control it. So you need to be in a family where they're very supportive, and they stop to be too emphasis on weight and being big, because those things they make you insecure. You get my point. So you need to come to be in a family where there needs to be a support within the family, where the parents are aware that when somebody gets pregnant, they might gain weight. You get my point. So you need to understand that which level of weight is abnormal or is bad. You get my point, because we are going to gain certain weight, and we need to normalize certain factors so that people don't stress or become more anxious. There needs to be that normality that comes into play.
Ipressure ke khona apha ku-society kuba xa uphuma ngaphandle naxa uya kuvenkile impahla ufumanisa uba impahla entle okanye ufumana impahla yabantu abancinane ayikho impahla yabantu abakhulu, and I think ke kuba in a way loo nto elide abantu abaninzi kuba bathi bakwazi uba bayofumana those extreme measures of trying to lose weight. What's the pattern there?
Yeah, I think one thing that you want to make people aware of is the consequences of gaining weight. That is going to come with certain consequences that are going to lead to other psychological factors, which at the end you'll have even low self-esteem. Because if you get to the shop and nothing fits you, it becomes difficult to go to somebody and say, do you have size 40? Do you have size 40? You get my point? So it becomes frustrating for other people.
Yeah. Let's talk about you spoke about the consequences. Eziphi consequences othetha ngazo zokutyeba. Kunabantu ababelieve into yokubana xa utyebile unemali umhlezi ngena kamnandi ebhankini. Zitsho kamnandi. But wena ndifuna usixelele into yokubana zeziphi consequences ke othetha ngazo.
Well, I mean, culturally there are certain views that are being supported or advocated for, that a man must be fit and all that. But I think it becomes a problem later when you start to develop certain medical condition that acts against you. You get my point? Or there are certain body weight that when you start to develop it, people start to speak bad about you. They make fun. You get into a taxi, everybody looks at you funny. If you do the whole space, so those are the things that you need to consider. So
Okay, Sbu, we're going to come to you and you're going to give us ezinye those consequences, but from a medical point of view. But Gimaskale State, Sinayo caller that is calling us from Midrand. Hello.
Hello, Sibongile khulumayo
Hi,
njani?
Sibongile, sikhona khona njani siswami?
Siphilile. I want to ask something from the dietitian.
Yeah, what's this?
I'm sorry, I won't mention igama le medication
Please don't.
But I was weighing something like 93.2 4 weeks back, and I took this medication, which are my tablets that I take 2 in the morning with medication, a teaspoon, and after that in a lunch I'll take a tablet. But from that 93 point whatever, within 4 weeks, saying like 89. The thing I want to find out, good, is it okay now to use tablets for diet or inama after effects after some time now?
Sibongile, I think we had a caller earlier on who had a similar situation. Our dietitian and our surgeon said in Dokbana, the minute ufilish in Dokbana, according to Chincha Mzimbe, no kakojimiko, but guess I'll never wako sukunike more ngombolo. Okay, we'll give you the details. Just keep on watching your TV.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Our dietitian will answer. Do you want to take that question immediately?
Yeah. Actually, that's the nice question. I love it.
Ingaba nakuthi yamsebenzela yini and akakavanti?
No, I'm sebenzeli at all.
But she has lost the weight. That's a goal, most.
Yeah, because like if she can look at the ingredients, especially the nutritional information, like most the medication like services to lose weight, it has diuretics and amanye anama caffeine. And what's the work of those things? So later, when you go to the scale and you smile on the scale,
so what are you saying basically to the viewers at home? Are you saying that weight loss products zizonke
azikulungelanga unless unless started via emergency or maybe during a certain operation, then you are welcome to take them, but not for long.
So when as a dietitian uti ayilunga ngento
at all.
Malenga masiphinde size kuwe besithe sathatha ngeza consequences into kubana intoni kanye esakwenzeka kodwa ke before that let's quickly go for an ad break. After the break uzasinika wena eza consequences. Now ke mbukelo ngakwazi ube inxalenye lengxoxo yethu apha studio sala ukunqaba phaya 0117146918 or drop us a message on our Facebook page. We'll be taking and adding your comments into this discussion we're having right here in studio after the break. So we continue with our discussion in this last segment of our show. Well, before we come back to the panel and to talk about the issues that we touched on, let's just read some of the messages that we have. We've got Yanga Kasibe Kwenyana uthi yena hayi alikho ikhambi lokuhlisa umzimba nje bakithi ngaphandle kokuzivocavoca. And then we've got Zandile Wendi Nqasa yena uthi xa unayo obesity kufanele utye ntoni uyeke ntoni zona impawu zoba zawo zibanjani. And then we've got George Vongani Wagamatonsi who says, it's scary to see many ladies of our country using medicine to lose weight. My advice to to those who use the slim product is be happy with the way God created you. And that is George Matonsi from KZN. So, gentlemen, we've got just a few minutes. I still want to just touch on 2 of those side effects we're talking about and some of the severe that could even lead to fatalities.
The most common side effects from the weight loss medications about anxiety, a lack of sleep.
So
rush and awudli at all. That also is a problem. But really the really dangerous ones about my liver problems and kidney problems. So those can lead to an association with cardiac problems as well.
So kusebenzisa la machiza kungalidisha into kubana benengxaki zenhliziyo, kidneys and so forth.
Thank you.
Tebogo, psychologically uthini kumuntu naku there's a message right there uzandile uthi, and then what I was saying to people abazalwe betyebile, you know, udali ubutyebe, then what are you saying and how do you know ukuthi so obese?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day people needs to know that there are genetic factors that play a role in a people's life, and because of that there are people who are going to be more heavier than others. and we need to make that normal.
So ithi ke lento bakhona abantu okufuneka behla betyebile. Masinga babancinci sona.
The problem is it's when your body weight now becomes a healthy problem to you. That's when you really.
How do you know ukuthi you know it's interesting because one would like to know ukuthi wazi kanjani ke ngoxa seyingxaki ku health yakho. Ubusitshilo ke phofu ba xa sohamba usiva kuyadinwa nento. But so if you're not feeling ezo zinto into ethetha into kubana utyebile kulungile. So you're healthy.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone who's overweight is unhealthy.
Okay. So not everybody who's overweight is unhealthy.
Yeah.
Just like not everybody who's skinny is healthy. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like no, yes, John. As long as you're healthy, it's okay. And maybe if you run over the machine for the cardio, and your heart is pumping okay, and then you check your blood pressure and everything is fine, then you're fine.
Apha ke ngoku uthini pha kumbukelo pha ekhaya kuba makatye ntoni izinto ekufanele sijongile xa sithenga ukutya okanye siyayazi into yokubana kwantu kufuneka kube khona inyama yonke imihla. Is that even healthy as a dietitian? Khawukuthi sithele nje chuphe.
Yeah, long-term weight loss, it's okay. It's recommended, but it requires one to master his diet habit and his exercise habit. This quick fix thing doesn't work. Yeah. So one must take at least breakfast, lunch, and supper, and then in between meals, a tatama snack just to start up the metabolism. Then once unga start feeling metabolism yakho iba right, then reduce nama carbohydrates wakho, something like that. Then
so small portions. Just as they 80 meals, although in doing
exactly, it's not a problem as long as you don't binge it.
Okay, manibulele ngokuba nithena nabanathi kumqhubi wethu namhlanje. But before we go, I just want each one of you, what are you saying to the consumer who's watching at home? Classes are lunch. Just 1 second each.
There are many options to help you lose weight, but really one must be aware as a consumer that they must get health advice before.
Okay. Control your impulses. You don't eat because you are hungry. You eat because it's time to eat.
All right.
Diet is simple and diet is cheap.
Diet is simple and diet is cheap. Well, thank you very much for joining us right there at home. Sibulele kakhulu kuba uphinde wabanathi ke kunkqubo yethu namhlanje. Ungalibali ke kuba ukhumbule ufumana i-repeats zethu on Mondays every morning at 10 a.m. Kanti ke uzokwazi uba ufumane napha ku-Facebook ingxombolo yesitheve ngalo mabo wethu besiphethe namhlanje. Keep on sending your emails to consumer@sabc.co.za. Kumke usiphiwe kanzawumbi, your plus size host. It's goodbye and God bless. Till next time, be good.
Yilungelo